Now let's look at some of our other variances that take a little bit more time. The first one is your total labor variance. So here's our example. It talks about airplane meals that don't really happen anymore. I don't know the last time I saw a meal delivered on an airplane, but we'll go with it. And it's asking us first how much, what is the direct labor cost that should have been incurred to prepare these 6,000 meals. Now it should have, so they're wanting to know what is our standard. So first of all, we know we prepared 6,000 meals. If I read through it, I can find that standard information, and that's what I'm looking for. It tells me each meal should take 2.2 direct labor hours. So that tells me that my standard hours should be 1,200. Then it also tells me that my standard cost per hour is $9.50. That's my standard rate. I can multiply that out and find out that my standard total cost should be 11,400. I can look and it tells me what my actual cost is. So this is part one. How much should it have cost to prepare those 6,000 meals? How much does this differ from our actual? They give me the actual, 11,500. So that's a $100 difference. Is it favorable or unfavorable? Well, I actually paid more than I should have, so therefore it would be unfavorable. But again, this is my total variance, total labor variance. What I want to do is break that apart and find out where are these differences coming from. So I want to find what is my labor price variance? And I'm going to use some of those shortcuts that we talked about to help you kind of speed up the homework, and hopefully this makes more sense. But you can always fill out the big chart also. So my labor price variance again compares prices. So I know what goes inside the parentheses is my actual rate and my standard rate. Then I know I can times this by my actual hours to get my labor price variance. Now all of this information now has given to me. My actual hours, if I look through the problem, was 1,150. My standard rate, I have right up there, $9.50. Now I have to figure out what my actual rate is. They told me the total cost was 11,500 and that I used 1,150 hours. So that would mean that my rate that I paid them per hour is $10. This will give me a total difference of $575. Now, I paid them more than I should have. Therefore, it's going to be unfavorable. Now let's look at that labor quantity variance. When I talk about labor quantity, I'm really talking about hours. So I'm going to compare those hours, actual hours minus standard hours, and I'm going to take that and multiply it by my standard rate to find out what my variance is. I already know my standard rate is $9.50. I also know that my actual hours were 1,150, and I found my standard hours right here, which was 1,200. Therefore, if I do the math there, my difference comes to 475. Is it favorable or unfavorable? Well, let me see. The actual hours I used was less than what I should have, therefore it's favorable. And if I look at this, I can see where that total labor variance is coming from. I can see that I had 575,000, or 575 minus the 475, because one's favorable, one's unfavorable. Therefore, I have a $100 difference that is unfavorable, which reconciles to my total variance.